I'm Justin Moran, and I'm the owner of Workspace. About 12 years ago, I think it was around 2012, I was operating a business with two business partners that lived in Chicago. I'm local. I needed a place to work. I found a business center in Hingham, Massachusetts called South Shore Business Center. Started renting an office there, was there a few years, and one day just asked the owner, hey, what do you want to do with this thing? He was getting a little older, towards retirement, and make a long story short, I paid him a small fee for the goodwill and the contents and took over in 2015.
My name is Lisa Huffman. I am a community manager at Workspace in Hingham. I also manage our social media, marketing, website, all that kind of stuff. I always tell people that I'm like the cruise director on a ship, kind of greeting all the people coming aboard and making sure they're comfortable, getting them set up in their offices or their co-working space. And then I spend any free time that I have working on our social media, promoting events that we have coming up, or trying to get other local businesses to partner with us for various things. So our newsletter goes out to our members and then any leads that we have in our CRM. And it's really just to kind of keep them up to date on events that are happening in each of our locations, and also to share maybe a blog post that they might have missed that might be relevant, or if we're having a lunch and learn. Just started adding a new section for the people who are not members, which highlights our available offices in each location.
This is where it all started. I was a member here and had my own office for 3 or 4 years. Fast forward to today, and we've got 5 locations and 200 offices and hundreds of members. But yeah, this is where it started. 350 Lincoln Street, Hingham, Mass. So almost immediately, it felt like about a year later, actually, expanded to a new location in Canton, Massachusetts, and then expanded the Hingham location a couple of times since then. So that was 2016 and 2017. I did those 2 expansions. Yeah. Life has changed a lot. I was always a sales guy. I was on the road a lot. I was away from the family a lot. And starting Workspace and making it flourish into the business that it is today was, I think, subconsciously my way of saying that I was sick of the road. I've turned myself from exclusively a salesperson to basically a hospitality executive / marketer. So I've had to pivot my career quite a bit over the last decade. I was always the guy at a couple of different startups that helped get everything together. I was always the guy that ordered the furniture and set up the network and making sure all of my teammates were comfortable and productive. So I felt as though I had a good enough background to make the Workspace environment. COVID was obviously a big event across the world, and it was super negative at first. There was folks that were literally tied to bringing people together. I had one consultancy that their main focus, their main goal in life was to help larger companies bring their teams together in a single room and have big events. So they literally went out of business overnight, literally. And there was any number of similar stories to that, people that just needed to cancel their office immediately. So at first, people were running for the exits. 2 to 3 months later, the phone started ringing because there was people forced home for the first time in their career. And home is different than the office, obviously. There's a lot of distractions there. In-laws were coming into town, kids were obviously home, and it just didn't work for a lot of folks. So fortunately, we were able to keep our doors open, the lights on, and all of a sudden we were full again. Another one of my compatriots in the industry had a very different experience with COVID, and the municipality where that location was operating wasn't so kind. They needed to basically shut down. They couldn't even operate a coffee maker because it was a gathering point. This location was in Cohasset, Mass, and the operator of this location was just a bit, I think, burnt out, and they had been operating it for close to a decade, and they wanted to get out of the business, but they wanted to see it thrive. So that's when I took over almost at the same time, mid 2022, Workstation, which is in Cohasset, Mass.
My name is Carrie Theodore, and I'm the Community and Space Manager here at Workstation in Cohasset. I started here when the space first opened up, roughly 11 years ago or so in 2014. Been here ever since, and just evolved with it over time. Day to day, I just kind of manage the space, make sure, obviously the coffee's made, the kitchen's clean. People have requests of certain things, and I make sure they get done. And new members come in, I onboard them and set them up and make sure they're ready to go. The space is really beautifully designed and good looking, has nice lighting. And the members are really nice and friendly, and that's about it, I guess.
The next couple of years, I was getting Braintree going. I expanded Braintree almost immediately because it filled up immediately, so I doubled its size. I took over Workstation and made it a Workspace location, swapping out technology, bringing in new furniture, training up the staff there. And it took me about a year to get things settled. Luckily, Braintree filled up right away, and Workstation just sort of kept going, and it's been successful from day one. Just one day said, you know what, let's go to the North Shore. Let's just get out of the comfort zone a little bit and throw a rock, if you will, as I like to say. I just started poking around different communities like Woburn and Burlington, and the great folks here at Cummings. My landlord introduced me to this complex that they have here, and I guess September of 2024 we opened Beverly.
So my name is Neha Montgomery, and my position here is I'm the community manager at Workspace in Beverly. I handle all the community operations here. The one main thing that I love about this place is the flexibility it gives me, which is ironic because you're working in a flexible office community. So I think everyone is looking for flexibility.
Having a flexible office location in the suburbs means something far different than operating a co-working space in the city. You've got to know your customer in both situations, obviously. Here in the suburbs, people, if they have the luxury, and sometimes it is a luxury, of having a private office of their own next, within 5 miles of their home, they use it as a place to stay really productive. Workspace offers a community of like-minded professionals that come together to be super productive. So a lot of times people aren't burning, the midnight oil 10, 12 hours a day in the office. They're there to get things done, but it's great to see a familiar face, whether it's your neighbor or your community manager. And really that's what community means at Workspace.
I've met a lot of people from different walks of life and different jobs, and it evolves all organically here. People just kind of meet each other. They know each other from their outside lives, whether their kids are doing sports or music or whatever it is. And, it just kind of happens organically.
Honestly, I feel community is everything. It's very important because there's a lot of integration amongst our members, and they end up sometimes becoming friends and business partners. And they start doing business together and things like that. So networking, community, I think they all go hand in hand.
There's a lot of camaraderie that happens in this space, and some of it is because the people have been here for a long time, so they've just gotten to know each other. But then there's also new people that come in who assimilate very well. Like, I think everyone here has a really good attitude and positive outlook on life. Like, they're here and they're working, but they're also having fun, and it's a nice get out of the house escape. So I think that's what community means to me. Just like having a welcome space where people can come in and maybe not know anyone, but quickly feel like they're part of our community.
The most exciting thing that we've introduced to the business over the past couple of years is technology. So just making it that much easier to grow the community, making it that much easier for folks that have never been introduced to us to interact with us online, get a sense for what we're all about, and hopefully come by for a tour and see if it's a great space for them. So all those things are enabled and automated by technology. So I think that's the most exciting part about the business today. Really what I'm most excited about is just growing the community inside the spaces that we do have, and then keeping our eye on expanding towards the next one. Yeah, the last 10 years has been a fantastic experience. Honestly, the thrill of a lifetime creating this business and bringing all these people together, and we're super stoked for what the future holds for our current members and the folks that we don't even know today. We're welcoming people every day, which is honestly the most rewarding part about the business is welcoming somebody that has a need, and we have the means to help them stay productive. That's for me one of the most rewarding things.